Looked pretty tough, and Lockie Neal came off with a heat stroke, so it's pretty rough out there.
Oh yeah, well every session these days is pretty solid, but we're really enjoying it, enjoying the challenge, and Lockie was training really well, so we're all about growth at the moment, and the boys are just out there churning the Ks out, and it's good that Lockie's pushing his body to the limits.
Is he all right? Did you go and see if he's okay? It's just a heat stroke, is it?
I saw him at the end. He was fine, mate. He was having his slushy and drinking some, just rehydrating, so he'll be fine.
Where did that session rate for you though, when you're one of the fittest? Was it a sort of 8 or 9 out of 10 session, or was it run of the mill?
I wouldn't say I'm one of the fittest, but thanks, Boer. Yeah, no, it's getting up there, and a lot of footy is going up a lot more these days, and they eased us into a little bit, and now we're really starting to crank out the transition footy session. So it's getting up there, but I think we've still got a bit of room to move as well.
Do you sense a building confidence in the group? They look very good, they're training very well. Pav said the other day even he feels, say every time this year, but he reckons there could be something special happening.
Yeah, we're really growing. I mean, we're working very hard off field as well, in the meeting room, and then we're trying to take it out onto the deck and trying to put on a show what we're learning in the meeting room. So the boys are working hard equally on the field and off the field, and we're really growing.
Can you give us some insight as to the sort of things you work on in that meeting room compared to what you're doing last year?
Yeah, just tinkering with the game plan a little bit, just trying to adapt it to our personnel, and then making sure we can go out there and try and execute it under game-like pressure.
Is it, fitness-wise, do you think everyone is fitter than they were last year? Because it appeared last year you set new standards for yourself. Have you gone up another level again, do you think?
Yeah, it's hard to tell just on the numbers, but there's boys running PBs in their 3Ks not that long ago, and the fitness guys are all over our GPS reports, so I don't have the exact numbers, but I know that we're all running pretty well.
Is the pre-season running smoother, Matt, given that you've had a year under Ross?
Yeah, I think so. I think the game plan meetings, don't go out for as long because there's a big introduction last year. It's more just tinkering with it now that we're all over it, and then we can really start to advance our learning.
What sort of role do you think you'll play this year? You did that defensive forwards role so well last year. Are you looking to move into the midfield a little bit more? Or?
I'm not too sure what the plan is just yet. I'm just working hard with Brett Kirk, Mark Stone, but also Peter Sumich as well. So just making sure I'm across all sort of roles, and then wherever Ross wants to put me, I'll be there.
Your personal ambition-wise, do you have an ambition to sort of maybe move into the midfield a little bit more, be that strong-bodied midfielder?
I played there for under 18s, so I feel like I can play there. But at the end of the day, I'm happy to help the team out. It's hard to kick Fifey, Mundy, Barlow, those sort of guys out of the midfield, but I'll be knocking on the door.
What about Kirky though, mate? Has he been good for you? He's one of the better players going around in recent times in the midfield.
Yeah, talking about players that get the most out of their ability, he's right up there. So I've been having some chats with him, and he's been really good for me and the group.
And what about leadership-wise? You've gone into the leadership group, obviously, and is that, personally, that must be gratifying, is it, for you to be in amongst with Pav and learning from those guys? Yeah, I really enjoy my role in the leadership group. I feel like that responsibility is really helping my game as well. But there's like our group's really growing, and it's not just there might be a leadership group, but everyone out there is really lifting their voice and direction, and there's a real group of core leaders that are coming up through the club.
Pav was asked last week about potentially down the track who could be captain, and your name came up. So that must be a huge rap. And would that be something that'd be one of your ultimate goals, to be a captain of an AFL club?
Oh, it's not something I really think about, and just like I said before, there's Luke McFarlane, Dave Mundy, Mickey Barlow, Nathan Fife. There's so many players there that could fill that void. But I like to think that as a group, our culture is really developing, and there's enough leaders out there that the role doesn't really matter.
There's been a lot said about Anthony Morabito, but another guy that's had a really wretched run with injury to him is out on the track training strongly at the moment. Viv Mitchie, how's he going, and what do you envisage getting from him this year? Yeah,
he's been great. I mean, he's said to me he started feeling like a footballer again, just running around out there, and I can't be more happy for him. He's been out there dominating, and I'm letting him know as well. So I'm wrapped for him, and hopefully he can just keep churning it out. He's obviously got good skills and good core stability, so he'll be around the midfield as well.
With you've got Viv, you've got Tom Sheridan coming up as well. Do you think your midfield depth is going to go to another level this year?
Yeah, I think it's important, and I think it will. Yeah, obviously so many guys are knocking on the door, and that competition for spots is really healthy. It forces the David Mundys, the Mickey Barlows, the Fifes to make sure they're right on top of their game as well, because the young boys are coming for them.
Will you be happy when the games start, Matty, so that they can't quite flog you as hard as they have at the moment?
Yeah, I'm a footballer. I'm not an athlete. That's my brother. He runs the 800s. I'm just, I'm a footballer looking forward to games and getting that competitive edge back. But the boys are really enjoying the training at the moment. The challenge is there for them every day, and they're coming in really hungry, and it's good to see.
How have your numbers gone this pre-season? I know you're saying not an athlete. Have you, I guess, made some ground with your times?
Yeah, I made a little bit of time. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, everyone's sort of growing, and yeah, we can't wait.
Matt, how hard have you worked on your kicking, and particularly kicking for goal? It was an issue for you in your first season, but watching you have those practice shots at goal there, it's almost like your action's a lot more natural and you look a lot more comfortable over the ball. How much work have you put into that to get to that stage?
Yeah, lots of work, but at the end of the day, I just don't want to hold the team, captive. I don't want to be letting the boys down for doing all the hard work up the other end. So that was my motivation, and something everyone's got their thing to work on, and that's been mine. So then in training, that's my thing, but other boys are doing all sorts of extras afterwards. So I'm working hard, but so is the whole team.
Did you feel like you made a big step forward in that area last year?
Yeah, I think so. I think just working on it consistently, you get that confidence with it, and then executing it in games, reaffirms that confidence, and then you just keep taking steps forward.
Has that improvement been just kind of repetition, hard work, or has there been a coach that you've been working with or anything?
Yeah, repetition, hard work. I've had a few coaches and working with the biomechanists, but it's a bit of paralysis by analysis. You can't have too many people saying too many things. I've had a few key focuses which I've just been trying to work on and not out from day to day.
And what about Crowley, mate? He's out. He's obviously a primary run-with player. He's going to be out for quite a while. Does that change your role at all, or who are the guys that will sort of step up in that role, do you think?
Yeah, it's not something we've really talked about just yet. Krause knows his spot's there, and he's racing to get back, but he'll be fine, mate. He's starting to lift his workload, and I'm sure he'll be back in no time.